Final day of preparation here for the Browns as they will face the Steelers on Sunday in Pittsburgh. And Mary Kay, the big news today really has nothing to do with that game. It has to do with someone who is here working out for the Browns, and that is veteran quarterback, Super Bowl champion, Joe Flacco.
Yeah, you know, it was funny. Last night when I was watching the Baltimore Ravens play against the Cincinnati Bengals and people were sending me pictures of Joe Flacco flying into Cleveland, I kept on thinking, no, I'm not going to fall for that. And lo and behold, he was here today to work out for the Cleveland Browns. Now, they haven't signed him yet. It's Friday afternoon right now. They haven't signed him yet, but it's still out there. It's still on the table. And it could happen before this game. It could happen before the Denver game next week, or perhaps they could go in another direction. But he is here today, and a lot of the Browns players were excited about it because, of course, he is a former Super Bowl MVP.
And Ashley, we know this team wants to add a third quarterback. It would likely be a practice squad move, even though Flacco is a veteran. But it gives you another option. It gives you a veteran in that room and a guy who, look, if Dorian Thompson-Robinson can't do it and they don't want to go back to P.J. Walker, it gives you a guy who can step in and start.
Right, and I do think that veteran presence can really be key. I mean, the Browns basically saw that last year when Jacoby Brissett played those first 11 games from them. And, you know, I think my favorite quote from today was David Njoku, who kind of joked, like, I don't know how I feel about this. He did beat us a lot when he played for the Ravens, but I think at this point it would be pretty much a full circle moment in Joe Flacco's career if this materializes.
Yeah, David Njoku wondering if this was like an inside job maybe for Baltimore. But let's move on. Dawand Jones, he is questionable for this game, Mary Kay, but you talked to him, and it sounds like he's planning on playing.
Yes, he said, I'm good to go. So, yeah, it sounds like he's ready to roll. He'll be going against TJ Watt. And when you go into a game like this and you're trying to protect your rookie quarterback who's making his second NFL start, you really want big Thanos out there protecting you. So he should be able to play, and they'll be good to go.
And Ashley, I know you're writing about the two pass rushers they're going to face, TJ Watt, who would go against Dawand Jones, and Alex Highsmith.
Yeah, I mean, it's a tough assignment, obviously, and I think those are two guys, even if you know it's a tough assignment, that doesn't do much because you give them an inch, they'll take a mile, they will wreck the game. The Browns saw that firsthand last time when Alex Highsmith scored on that pick six on the first play of the game, and then, of course, he forces the fumble in the fourth quarter. TJ Watt recovers it, runs it back for his first career touchdown. But Dawand Jones didn't do terribly in that game. I think that was the takeaway. That was his first career start, of course, in week 2. So I think it definitely helps to have him back, and he at least has done this before.
You guys want a bad pun of something Ashley just said? If you give him an inch, they'll take a miles.
I'm ashamed of myself.
We heard from Myles Garrett today, who's going to try and show that maybe he should be in Defensive Player of the Year consideration, Mary Kay. Maybe he should be an MVP consideration if this defense leads the Browns to the playoffs. But Myles Garrett loves these matchups against the Steelers.
Well, he definitely does. But one of the other things that we talked to Myles about, which I think is very important to note, is the fact that Joe Burrow is lost for the season for the Cincinnati Bengals. So in this very big AFC North week that we have all been looking to see what happens between the Baltimore Ravens and the Bengals and battles for first place between the Browns and the Steelers, in that same very week, Deshaun Watson is lost for the season and Joe Burrow is lost for the season. It's so hard to believe, so bad for the AFC North, so bad for the NFL. Our best wishes, I know, all go out to Joe Burrow, and Myles said the exact same thing. He's hoping that these guys are going to be okay. So that was huge news, and it really kind of rocked the AFC North.
Yeah, Ashley, we knew the AFC North was going to take shape over these next couple weeks, and this week especially. We didn't imagine that it would take shape the way it has.
It's crazy over 48 hours how the discussion and the narratives around this division, which, you know, after last week, a lot of people were saying is probably the best division in football potentially right now, certainly one of the most physical. And these were two really highly touted and important games, but it just goes to highlight, I think, again, how important it is to have a franchise quarterback if you want to be competitive in the NFL these days.
Okay, we'll have complete coverage as the Browns get ready to face the Steelers on Sunday. You can find it all at cleveland.com/Browns.